Good evening. We'd like to welcome everyone to the first installment of the District Advisory Committee. This evening we'll have the first presentation of our LCAP-related data and state priority interwoven together in part of our plan. We have Assistant Superintendent Heather Sharp who will be doing the presentation tonight. We would like to first ask if anybody has any public comment. Seeing none, we'll turn the evening over to Assistant Superintendent Sharp.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. So yes, this is our first review of our 2025-26 local accountability plan. This is a 3-year plan. We are in year 2 of this plan. As a part of the plan, there are 3 areas that we need to address: conditions of learning, engagement, and student outcomes. So within this plan, there's these 8 state priorities that fell within those 3 areas. And you can see them on the screen now: basic services, state standards, parental involvement, pupil achievement, pupil engagement, school climate, course access, and other pupil outcomes. And as we talk about the plan, the local control accountability plan, we have to make sure we're addressing these 8 state priorities across our goals. So for the district, we still have our same 3 goals: systematic closure of the opportunity gaps, instruction and curriculum efficacy, and 21st century outcomes and stakeholder communication. So for goal 1, it is students will graduate college and career ready with the skills of communication, citizenship, critical thinking, collaboration, and creativity, all while working within a district-wide one-to-one learning environment. And at the bottom of this goal, you can see the priorities that this goal is addressing, priorities 1, 4, 5, 7, and 8. So as a part of the LCAP, we have to show what actions we're taking to meet those goals. Here is a list of bulleted actions. Just to name a few: our comprehensive high school experience, Common Core standards, maintain and hiring exceptional staff, student attendance, our partnership with San Joaquin Delta College, as well as our well-maintained facilities. And as a part of these actions, we have to measure whether they are effective or not. And again, we have this list of metrics that we use. This is the data we use to determine effectiveness of our actions. So some of these involve access to standards-aligned instructional materials, increasing the number of students with a 3.0 GPA or higher, and then decreasing the number of students with D and F grades, our UC A to G completion, decreasing dropout rate and increasing graduation rate, and then maintaining clean and up-to-date facilities. Goal 2, instruction and curriculum efficacy, involves instructional leadership and teaching excellence in all classrooms, all while utilizing research-validated practices district-wide. At the bottom, you can see priorities covered with this goal are 1, 2, and 6. The actions that we have assigned in meeting that goal are professional development for staff, programs and services for unduplicated students, students with exceptional needs, as well as providing 21st century learning experiences and content. And then the metrics we use to measure the effectiveness of those actions: implementation of Common Core, decreasing suspension and expulsion rates, utilizing PBIS at all sites, one-to-one Chromebooks K-12, and teachers appropriately credentialed. And our last goal, goal 3, 21st century outcomes and stakeholder communication, addresses high quality education, positive parent relationships, all while taking part in a rapidly expanding student population. Our priorities addressed in this goal are 3, 5, and 8. Actions applied to this goal: providing cutting-edge technology classrooms for teachers and students, quality communications with parents and community, parental input and engagement, and particularly parental participation of students with exceptional needs, EL, foster, and low income. Metrics used to measure effectiveness: parent and staff surveys, engagement in variety of meetings, parental involvement and communication, and regular evaluation of our district technology via the Tech Sustainability Plan. So as I mentioned before, this is year 2 of a 3-year long plan. So we are phasing into the second year of this plan. We look at data from prior years to determine our goals to then apply those actions in the next year. So you're looking at 2024 CASP results. At the board meeting this evening, I will provide a public presentation on our 2025 CASP. So at the next DAC, this will be updated with 2025 data. So this is old, this is the lagging data because that other data has not been publicly shared at a board meeting. So again, this is that data from 2024. You'll see this exact same this evening regarding 2025. Our LCAP focuses on our subgroups and determining not just that the district does well overall, but what do our individual subgroups do as far as proficiency on particular tests for CASP. So you saw ELA, this is math, and then how our students are performing in science. Overall, the district does outperform state and county in all subjects, ELA, math, and science. However, depending on the subgroup, there are areas where we can support them in increasing their proficiency. So a part of the LCAP is discussing the budget. We look at budget to actual each year. Again, this is how we performed last year. So goal 1, our budget to actual, we were over what our actual, we budgeted more than we spent. And that was because some of our safety expenses didn't get expensed at the time of when our budget needed to be closed. We also did not use as many substitutes for professional development as we had anticipated. So we budgeted more than we had spent. In goal 2, our budget to actual, we budgeted more than we spent. That was because we budgeted more for substitutes for one of our significant professional development opportunities in the district, walking and talking. We didn't use as many substitutes as anticipated, and we didn't have as many student interns as we had anticipated. And then for goal 3, budget to actual, we spent more than we had budgeted, and that was because special education transportation came in that we couldn't anticipate for. They were new students coming in. So this is some of the criteria that goes with the LCAP. The budget overview for parents is a component of LCAP. It's required and to be adhere to the same adoption, review, and approval and posting requirements as the rest of the LCAP. It includes the local control funding formula and total funds to the district, as well as a narrative for budgeted expenditures not in the LCAP. And as I said, this is last year's information on LCAP. We are working this year on developing our new LCAP plan based on the new data coming forward. Any questions?
Thank you for presenting this data. I think I've mentioned before, every time I hear the presentation, which I know you've done multiple times, I learn something new every time. So thank you for that. The other thing is, I've made this comment before, I just want to emphasize it, that a large amount of our budget is spent against these goals, right? So that total is about $51 million or so. And so for the community, it's really important when we get asked about where's the expenditures going, it's directly tied to the success that we have against these measures that we're taking, and the successes seen in the data that we measure ourselves by. So I appreciate it, and I think it's a good tie of tax dollars to actual outcomes, actions, and then outcomes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, if there are no other questions about the LCAP or presentation, then we will call to conclusion our District Advisory Committee meeting for the first installment here in November. There will be a second one. And then ultimately there will be a special board meeting where there's a final presentation of the LCAP for a hearing in June. And then a couple days later in the board meeting, the formal board vote on the LCAP for this year. And with that, we'll draw it to conclusion. Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.